Hey, what's up, Earth? It's Spaceman Matt here to talk about the 6th episode of the 2nd season of Star Trek Discovery called The Sounds of Thunder. It is a sequel of sorts to the mini-episode The Brightest Star, where we find out that Commander Saru is from the planet Kaminar and is a Kelpian. And the Kelpians are subjugated by another race called the Baul, and apparently their population is called every so often. So Saru gets a hold of Baul technology, contacts Starfleet, and Starfleet agrees to rescue him. He's rescued by then Lieutenant Philippa Georgiou, the one from the Prime universe, not the Mirror universe. And I guess the Baul are isolationists, and Starfleet doesn't want to interfere with them. So in this episode, The Sounds of Thunder, they get a signal from the Red Angel, and this time it is from Kaminar, Saru's homeworld. So they decide to go there. Saru has a sister who we believe is still alive on the planet. So they go there, and now all of his fear ganglia have fallen out after that Vahari evolution of his. So now I think he's ready to face the Baul and maybe rescue his sister. So they head out to Kaminar. And Saru does find his sister, and then he decides to confront the Baul directly, and transports over to the Baul ship. The Baul ship kind of reminds me a little bit of the Tholians and Tholian Web, and they're kind of, some of the look is somewhat similar too, but I'm assuming they're a distinct race from the Tholians. So in the process of the confrontation, they learn that originally the Kelpians were the predators and the Baul were the prey, but because they suppressed their coming of age with the Vahari process, they've managed to subjugate him all these years. So on the Baul ship, Saru confronts the Baul, which materializes out of this pool of liquid. It just kind of rises up, and we see that Saru's threat ganglia have evolved into these like poisonous spikes, which guy shoot out at the Baul, but I don't think it does any damage. I think he said the Baul was able to deflect them, and that's when they realized that at one point the Baul were the prey of the Kelpians, not the other way around. So in the meantime, Starfleet challenges the Baul, but then they threaten to, I guess, wipe out all the villages with their with the technology that they use for the culling, and but at the last minute, I think the Red Angel comes to save them with the electromagnetic pulse that takes out the technology, and it looks like they're going to work for a balance of power again between the Baul and the Kelpians. In the end, then Burnham realizes that after she sees Saru reconnect with his sister, she realizes that she has to find her brother Spock, and I think that's how the episode ends. Overall, it was an okay episode. This episode reminded me a little bit of a Doctor Who episode called the Krotons, and some other episodes that were kind of similar plot-wise, which no longer exist. One is called The Savages, which was a William Hartnell episode, and another one called The Macra Terror, which is a Patrick Troughton episode both from the 60s, and both were lost, and they only exist in audio format, and some fans have reconstructed some of the episodes. And then one you can see is the Krotons, which is complete. It's a Patrick Troughton story, also from the 60s. And the Krotons also, kind of interestingly enough, materialize from a liquid crystal, and they materialize into these solid robot-like forms in the episode. And the Krotons exploit this race of human-like aliens called the Gond. And it's a similar thing where they're preying on the Gond using their, they choose the smartest of the Gond and use their psychic powers to drain their energy, and it helps them manifest themselves into solid form. Kind of similar themes. I think both can be kind of relating to class struggle. I think, I don't want to get into too many political things here, but that's what both stories kind of remind me of, is just the general exploitation of the lower classes, but you can interpret it any way you want. Also, some good news about Star Trek. It's going to be renewed for a third season, and I think it's good. I think at least there should be at least 3 seasons to give them a chance to develop. I would rather see Star Trek Discovery on broadcast TV or on Netflix, but it looks like it's going to continue on All Access. I think they should put at least one series, if not Discovery, maybe one of the other new series that they're going to produce, Section 31 or the Picard series, and put that on regular TV. This might give more interest to the All Access show and lead to more subscribers for All Access. I don't know, but I think it'd be better if they kind of abandoned that platform altogether and focused on getting them on existing platforms. But I think maybe it would be, I would like them to abandon All Access altogether and just use existing streaming platforms. I don't see, this is really market's getting really divided with Disney doing this now, and probably a few others, and there's that DC Universe streaming service, which looks really interesting, but I'm not going to spend extra money on yet another streaming service. Sorry. That's all for this time. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Okay, I'll see you next time.